Hello, listeners. I'm Moose Straw Matt. Welcome back to another Sleep Time episode here on Nature and Sleep for Kids. I'm so tired already.
Hey, Moose Straw, wake up!
Huh? What's going on? Well, anyway, back to where we were. We're trying to fall asleep. Actually, it's your job to fall asleep. It's my job to stay awake and share a story with you. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. I'm so tired. No, I'm okay. I'm awake. Oh, listeners, I'm going to share a story with you that has been released in a way on our other podcast, Nature and Science for Kids, years ago. We had there a pretty interesting story, one of my first favorites about the Grand Canyon, a Grand Canyon story. But I would like this one to be different. It's going to be a little bit more calming. So you'll hear some overlap, but I'm going to try to throw in some details that I didn't include or focus on so much the first time. And I just hope it puts you to sleep and you relax. Not in that order. So get cozy as we're going to begin our trip back to the Grand Canyon and our imaginations. Before we do, let's do some preliminary things. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out. Think about your body and how you feel. Focus on your feet. Are they relaxed? How about your right leg and left leg? Are they at peace? How about your stomach? Your chest and arms? Your fingertips? Your wrists? Shoulders? Neck? Just relax it all. Finally, your head. No tension. No stress. It's story time. Now, with your eyes closed and the calm breathing, let's pretend we are at the Grand Canyon. This story goes all the way back to 2012, 12 and a half years ago. It was March, and it was the perfect time to go on a hike. We planned to go 4 nights into the Grand Canyon to do backpacking, hiking, seeing things, and one of the things we wanted to do was take a lot of pictures and enjoy the trip. The morning we were supposed to start the trip, we got a little bit later of a start than we planned to. So we went to the rim of the canyon, and it was snowing. It was so cold up there, it was snowing. Now that might not sound like great weather to you guys, but most times of the year, the Grand Canyon can be extremely hot. The rim, or the top of the canyon, is significantly cooler than the inside. So we wanted it to be snowing at the top because as we hiked in, we knew it would get warmer and warmer. And we didn't want to be hot. We wanted to be comfortable. And here was the snow. White flakes. It wasn't like a foot of snow or 2 or 3 feet. No meter of snow. Just some flakes. A little dusting on the ground. And it was lovely. Then we began to walk. I remember, though, those first feelings of beginning to walk away from the parking lot, down the trail, and into this huge canyon, on a trail that we knew we would see very few people. And as excited as I was also nervous. I was a little bit scared, to be honest. A part of me wanted to turn around and go back, but I'm glad I didn't. There were 5 other people with me, and we kept going. We kept walking and walking. And the view looking into the Grand Canyon got more and more big and beautiful and grand. It's so appropriately named there, the Grand Canyon. We would go around one portion of the trail, peeking around a cliff edge, and then see the Grand Canyon, the main canyon, open up. And then we'd keep going, and we'd go out even farther and see more of the canyon. It was a magical experience, and the snow began to lessen. We started to get into a rhythm of hiking, and then stopping to take pictures. You can imagine. Hike, stop, picture, picture, picture. Hike, stop, picture, picture, picture. So many pictures. I took thousands of pictures on that trip of 4 nights in the Grand Canyon. The snow lessened. We got into that rhythm. Now, there was one part on the trail early on that was dangerous. Because it was colder up there was one area where there must have been some water running, and it was frozen there on the trail. And we went slowly, carefully, picking our way across the ice because we did not want to slide off and go down the edge of the canyon. Stay relaxed, stay calm, don't think about it too much, just keep falling asleep. We were okay. We made it across the ice. We used our trekking poles to give us some stability. So instead of simply walking with 2 points of contact, our feet, our shoes, we also had the poles. So it was kind of like 4 points of contact. That extra bit of stability helped us to get across the ice, and we kept going. The snow lessened. We kept going, mainly staying flat, but sometimes going down. Hiking, steady rhythm, pictures, beautiful view, and then the snow stopped altogether. The temperature increased as the day warmed up, and we got farther into the canyon. And with the layers of clothing we had on, it became a great temperature. We no longer felt cold. We warmed up from the movement, from the heating of the day, for being farther into the canyon. It was lovely. But then we looked on the map, and we saw something. There was a little spring up ahead. So we hiked, and after a couple of miles, we came to this spring. There was even a little structure there, and we made sure to drink what we could. We took a break, drank a little bit, ate a little bit to nourish our bodies, and then we went on, and we looked at the map again, and we didn't see a spring. We saw that there was going to be something called cathedral stairs, going down, down, down. While we had mostly been flat on this first part, going down some, but mostly flat, cathedral stairs was going drastically down. Thousands of feet down, stepping. That's why they call it cathedral stairs, and we did not know how we felt about this. We were getting nervous. But we kept walking. We had no choice. We didn't want to turn around. So we kept going. Either keep going or turn around, and turning around was not an option to us. So we kept walking and walking. And then I looked ahead at where the trail went, and I could not see where the trail went. All I saw, what seemed to me, was this cliff face. And I didn't see anywhere to walk. And then big boulders strewn all over the place. There's no trail through there. And I looked at the map, and it said there was a trail there, and I looked back at the cliff face and the boulders, and I looked back at the map, and I thought, this map is either wrong or it's right, and we're about to find out. So we kept walking, curving around this cliff face, getting closer to the big boulders and the place where it looked like there was no trail. And what always amazed me was that there was always a trail. There was always a trail. It might not be very big, but there was a trail. I couldn't see it from far away. I had to keep walking, and it was there. So we walked, steadily walking. And then we got to the place where it looked like there had been no trail, but there was. So many times in life, we might not know what's up ahead. We might not see how something is possible. But there's a trail. You are not alone. Somehow, someone's going to go with you. That map told us that someone had been there before, and it was safe, even though it didn't look like it. We can trust the map. We can trust those who've gone before us. So we did, and there was a glorious trail, wide enough for us to walk on. It was fine. And we walked until we got to the top of Cathedral Stairs. And we looked down. It seemed like stairs that went on for miles. And that's pretty much what it was. Stairs that went down, down, down. There was no choice but stepping down, going down the steps. Now, if they had been normal steps, like we build into buildings and houses, that would have been challenging enough. But these steps sometimes were shorter, sometimes taller. They were irregular, and it took more mental focus and more physical strain. So we walked, stepping down, 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 and our legs started to get tired. We really leaned onto our poles because they helped give us strength, support. So it wasn't all our legs, all our knees. Yeah, you older people, if you're listening, can you feel your knees getting kind of sore just thinking about it? Yeah, that's what it was like. And we kept going down, down, down. It took well over an hour to walk down all of Cathedral Stairs. But we finally made it down to more of the floor of the canyon, where we would be for most of the rest of the time, and looked back up. And it was so high up there from where we had been a couple hours before. But we had done it. We had walked down all of Cathedral Stairs, and everybody was safe, but we still had a ways to go. We had another mile or mile and a half until we got to the place where we were to camp. The thing about the Grand Canyon is you let the National Park Service know which trail you're going into and where you're coming out. But when you're in there, you just tell them, I'm going to be in this zone this night and that zone the next night. So you kind of give them general ideas. But we were not to the place we had thought we would be. We still had a mile or a mile and a half to go, and it was getting dark. So we started to walk. We had nothing else to do except to walk. Fortunately, it was flatter, and so we rhythmically walked with our backpacks, drinking water, and we made it. We came around a corner, and there was an old corral. Stone walls, a place where it looked like they had kept horses or sheep or something, like a pen. And we camped there that night. We set up our tents. We ate food. We were so hungry, and we were so tired. As soon as we'd eaten, and we had changed and did whatever we needed to do before bed, we collapsed onto our sleeping bags and slept soundly. All of that, and it was only the first day of our trip into the Grand Canyon. Can you imagine it in your mind? The big canyon all around, the walls, the cliffs towering thousands of feet above you on all sides. There's not much vegetation, lots of sand, a lot of rocks. There's some low shrubs, but it's mainly cliffs and big expanses. And you're tired and ready to sleep. It was a wonderful way to start our trip. We were camping and sleeping our first night inside the Grand Canyon. We couldn't wait to wake up to take more pictures in the morning. We already had so many wonderful pictures. We couldn't imagine more, but we were eager to see what we could take pictures of the next day, too. Listeners, this is the first of multiple stories about the Grand Canyon. I hope they're calming. I hope they're relaxing, and that you feel at ease. There's something about nature that's so calming. Thank you for joining me for this first story here about the Grand Canyon. I'll see you next time.